fans that'll be flocking in throughout the week. On court one, as you can see, it's been straight games all the way. Now it's the men's doubles. Chen Bo-yang and Liu Yi from China taking on the Jhe-Huei and Po-Hsuan from Chinese Taipei. So looking at the men's doubles, the winner of this match will play either Lane Vendy or Kang and Xiao, the world champions, and still the bottom half, well, Jomko, Kedron, Go, Sudirman. That's happening later on, and of course Kia Sogard against Cha and So a little bit later on. One day, Steen, I'm going to learn how to speak Danish properly.
That's really difficult, and the Danes are very particular with the pronunciation.
I know, I was at the World Championships, of course, in August, and I had a good few chats with a great many people and realized how well, just advanced the language it is. Really.
It's really tough.
To it. So, a couple of issues there. Finding the court for, I think it's Li and Yang. Now, this is a very interesting matchup in the men's doubles. World 17 pair, that's Li and Yang, Chinese Taipei, taking on the number 27th, Chen and Liu. Anything you know about Chen and Liu?
No, it's the first time I'm going to see these two players, so very interested to see what they can do. But since they have a 2-0 lead against Li and Yang,
or red, please.
I'm absolutely certain that they're capable of playing fast.
Red for you.
Get the coin toss going.
Who will receive? Liu. Liu will receive. Who will serve? Yang service. This side. Okay.
Well, a fast men's doubles pair. I think that's standard requirement these days, isn't it? To be as fast as you can.
Yeah, because I mean, Li and Yang, they play fast and furious, and if you're 2-0 up against them, then either you are better in that fast-paced game, or you take the pace out, and I don't think they're taking the pace out.
Jhe-Huei, 29 years old. You can see it, 17th is their current ranking. He's 5'10". The bronze medals at the Asian Games they picked up 2018. Apart from that, not much known about the pair. They did pick up a Super 300 title last year, the Korea Masters. And that was against Li Yang and Wang Qilin. So that's already, and that was straight games. So that's pretty big effort. Does play mixed doubles as well. Hugh Yao Ching.
20 seconds. 9, 10.
And that's Chen Bo-yang, 23 years old, 6'3". That always helps when you're on a doubles court. And current ranking 27. That's their highest ranking as well. On his first senior title, they did, in fact, Vietnam International Series in 2022. Also came through, it's just 20 years old, his partner. And Hui in China also came through at the Brichang China Masters and the Orléans Masters this year against Heikel and Sudirman, and Fikri and Maulana both came out winners. So you're right, they have to be fast if you've got that kind of winners list.
Ready to play.
Umpire Emi Sakamoto for this 5th match, court 1, day 2.
20 seconds.
Joined by our service judge, Jess Chan.
Yes, back on the clock.
Well, it'll be an interesting change of pace.
1.
As the women's singles we just watched, in fact, both the women's singles this morning have been of a moderate pace. Once again, it's all going to be about who can get that winning advantage, who can get onto that 3rd shot and 4th shot.
Okay, on court.
Service over. 10, 11. Service over. 2, 1.
I'm about ready to get underway here.
Service over. 12, 10.
Ready?
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right,
Service over.
Chen-Huei
2.
and Jhe-Huei, China. And on my left, Jhe-Huei and Po-Hsuan, Chinese Taipei. Po-Hsuan to serve to Jhe-Huei. Level,
30.
play.
10. 3, 2.
Service
You could
over,
expect that
1, love.
back line, top and bottom, to come into play a lot here. First point already falling.
Service over, 1, all.
Service over.
Just like most doubles matches these days, you can expect the first few points for both of these pairs to rev themselves up into
Service over.
their rhythm and style and pace.
3, all.
Service over, 2, 1. Service over,
Play
4.
by Lee Jhe-Huei, and it seems like Li and Yang, they've decided that they don't want to go into the fast-paced flat game, trying to block from the mid-court area.
service over,
Service over.
3,
14,
2.
12. Service over. 4, all.
Yang on backline duties. Is that wide?
Chen-Huei challenges, hold in.
That seemed very odd. That looked clearly out.
Yeah, I think so too. But we have the
Challenge coming.
challenge possibility.
No, it's as out as it could be.
Collection out.
Oh,
4,
a couple of
2. Play.
6. Service over. 30, 40.
just incredible to think Chen and Liu,
That's
another
over.
young enough
Three,
combination
four.
that's come out of China's prolific production line of badminton pairs and players.
Yeah, and they haven't really been that super strong in men's doubles, but now it seems like they're building a really, really good
Yeah.
practice environment. I would say that these two players are some of the ones that have sort of suffered the COVID lockdown, where they should have made their
yeah.
their progress in the world, but
It was stunted at that point for a couple of years, or a couple of
think
players
so.
that happened to, yeah.
18, 19
That's
years old, 2021 for Chen-Huei.
Yeah, and then you have to stop.
Yeah.
I think just on that note, while we get through these early points, some of the procedures, or some of the traits that some of the players took on during that time.
Yeah.
Walking 10,000 steps in the space of a hotel room,
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth. It's unbelievable.
6, 5.
Service over. 7, 6.
I think we're all just glad that we managed to negotiate through those challenging pandemic years.
6, all.
Malaysian Open, of course, I said 2 editions cancelled, 2020 and 2021. They were difficult times for everybody involved. Now, thankfully, back
8.
Well, that's a
Good
great
defense
great passage of play.
by Liu.
7, 6.
As I said, they're both revved up now.
I think that's a wrong call again. Not the sideline judge, but the other side. And another challenge from Chen and Liu.
Oh, could it be right and left? Missed calls. Yep.
Collection out.
Left and right. Let's not forget there was
6.
an unsighted in the previous match as well.
8.
So 8-6. Good to see both pairs now engaging a bit more in these rallies. It's good for Lee.
Service over. 7, 8.
Good serve.
Service over. 9, 7.
Well, both pairs were looking equally matched at the beginning. Now, giving the idea that Chen and Liu have a little bit more belief. They may not just be translating it,
10.
but they seem to be up for this. Mistake there.
Service over.
And still a clear picture that Li and Yang wants to take the pace out in the service situation, wants to get on the attack.
Service over. 11-7. Interval. Game. 10-6.
Another one of those highlight defenses, highlight reel defenses I call them. Sadly not the most effective. Actually, they're even looking at the replay, I don't even know how he got that back.
Long.
You can see what you're saying, that clear definition now of the Chinese Taipei pair trying to slow it down. Just trying to soften it, these rallies. Chen and Liu trying conversely to pump them up. That's good luck.
Service over. 10 all.
Of course, the end result from both of those actions is 10-all as we approach the mid-game interval.
11-7.
11-10 for Li and Yang.
11, 10 interval.
Play. Service over. 8-11.
Hot 1, 20 seconds. Hot 1, 20 seconds.
So back on court for the second phase of game one. Just 1 point between them right now.
Much less flat exchanges than
11,
I
10,
anticipated,
play.
but probably illogical as we want to try and gain an advantage. So
Service over.
I suspect that we're not going to see a lot of
11 all.
long rallies here.
Short kills, yeah, quick
Short,
points.
yeah, because each pair will try to sort of stamp their mark on the rallies, and that means that you try and go really, really sharp for the placement that you like. And right now, we of course get the longest rally of the match, I suspect.
Just about.
But it will be a lot about quality in the service situation, trying to read, trying to anticipate what you have on the video from the previous 2 matches that you know that these opponents are doing.
So Li Yang edge ahead.
Service over.
A bit short flicker there from Yang Po-Hsuan.
12, 10. Service over. 1-4.
Excellent.
Right down the middle.
Fantastic awareness by Li Jhe-Huei,
30.
the former partner of Li Yang, who now the Olympic champion.
With Wang Shilin.
Yep.
2-1.
That was a great pickup. Careful from the Taipei pair.
12.
And then Yu comes in. Attack
Service over.
soaring in the air from right to left.
Run the clock, please.
Really good attack from Liu Yi. Short, sharp racket movement.
A little bit nervous on that service.
14. 13.
Just is so paramount and important to get that service action right, as you said it, the way you want it, so that the options and the probabilities coming off that will fall within your expected plan.
Service over.
The super service return to the right shoulder of Yang Po-Hsuan, challenging to move the racket so that you're in a good position to play it. But have only a few options left had it come over.
15. 14.
Well, getting into the business end now of this first game. Still 1 point between them.
12.
Oh, what an angle.
At the please. Service over.
14.
15.
12.
Oh.
It's just the tiniest amount of area.
5.
As I said it before, you know, some of the accuracy of these pairs these days, they're aiming for a foot square, 2 foot square at the back of the court. And that, of course, open space constantly moving. Good angle, steep down.
Yeah, exactly. The steepness he gets on his shots, Liu Yi.
15.
Thank you. 15, 12. Service over. 3, 5.
You know, there's been a lot of players today
Service over.
who are really in 2 or 3 minds about what's happening at that back line with the lifts coming down. Both sides, top and bottom.
I think it's
4, 5.
I think that the Chinese Taipei pair is playing with the drift.
16,
Yeah.
12.
But I said I'm still very open to the fact
Yeah.
that it might be
That was
shifting.
should
But I
have
think
left
the
that one.
principle.
Yeah, and of course the players are a little bit bewildered,
60.
being the first round here, and
Yeah.
and
Big
the fact that
fault
you can play it
Play.
actually quite easily. You can play it long, even from this side here, when you lift flat.
Yeah, very windy environment, but that top to bottom is like the jet stream that's coming down.
Yes.
And
18.
all these various other little cyclones and little wind vortices around.
Yeah.
If only
As
you
long
could
as,
see
long as we
wind.
don't get any small showers on the court there.
You need a weatherman for
Snow.
one. You need a weatherman. You need a meteorological map. But wouldn't it be great if you could actually see Breeze?
Yeah.
You could actually see it.
17, 18.
Players could play into it when they see one coming.
Service over. 5, 6.
Right, business end, game 1, 18-17. Or 17-18, I should say. Key point for Li and Yang.
Oh, fantastic.
Wonderfully done.
Service over.
12.
19, 17.
Well, that's how you do it.
Service over. 7, 5.
That's the badminton equivalent to a slam dunk in basketball.
Yeah, it's actually very similar movement as well. To a monster jam.
Service over. 18, 19.
Well, never a more important serve for Chen and Liu.
Oh, that's great coverage by young Po-Hsuan. He read that all the way, sensed that Chen Bo-Yang was trying to play past him.
18.
Look at this. That one, and then he moves, ready for it. It's basically the only thing he covers. All of the rest of the court, that's up to his partner.
So 2 game points. That's one that's gone
Service
begging.
over. 19, 20.
Adams. 15, 19.
Oh, nice pickup. Just felt that Li and Yang's defense was a little bit shaky there.
Yeah.
24.
They were stretched there and there, and then after that, it just seemed a little bit nervy. And that comes through in the shot. So, deuce at 20, first to 2, first to 30.
8, 7.
Confusion.
There was a bit of confusion. They're bunched up on that left side. Now they're back in a back defense. Oh, double fault. The other side. That's what I meant about those nerves. Just a little bit shaky.
21.
Getting to the end of the game, and it's a game point for Chen and Liu. Nice little tip over there by the 6'3" Chen.
Service over.
First game point for them.
All. Yeah. Yeah. Deep
serve. Fast exchange. Oh, they've done it. 22-20.
First game won by Chen Bo-Yang and Jhe-Huei, 22-20.
There was a quick 5-point at the end.
Next, Wamba Branya, 11-21, 21-17, 21-16.
人起来要帮我，刚才那个我来不及。
Hold 1, 20 seconds. Hold 1, 20 seconds.
So back on court for game 2, and Steen, if you've been ahead or you did look, I mean there was game point there for Li and Yang,
Yeah,
and snatched away from them.
It felt like a little bit of a steal for Chen and Liu to win that first game.
Yeah,
And
now they've got to get over that.
Li and Yang, they're still yet to win a game against these two Chinese players.
At least they can say they came close this time.
Yeah, so I wonder how much the playing conditions will mean here, because I was tempted to say in the first game, and I will say it, that I feel that the difference is the basics. That I think the Chinese pair is a little bit more solid in the basics, the
Fundamentals.
the quick defense. Somehow I think they practice more. That's the impression I get. But it could also be that the playing conditions were different. So that was what made it a little bit easier for them to play from the defense and so on. So, I've pretty much covered everything. So one of them is most likely right.
I'm glad to put it all out on the table like that. I mean, that's the main thing. But I mean, when you look at it, Li and Yang did have 3 opportunities to finish off that match.
Yes.
And they were a little bit nervy. Chen and Liu had 1, and they were helped a little at the end. But I think it's what you said earlier about having this big practice pool. If you know, and China in every single discipline, men's singles, women's singles, mixed doubles, you have this practice pool. Situations like this will come up, and they can get better.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was a fantastic smash from young Po-Hsuan.
Look at that. One angle right into the corner again, about a foot square that he's aiming for down there. For me, it's impressive. It's one thing to hit it in singles when you can get a really good view, but in real time, at the speed that men's doubles plays at, to hit those kind of marks. So 5-2 now for Li and Yang, but we have seen this before. That first game. And I wonder if it's going to be a case of Chen and Liu soaking up that pressure again, keeping pace with the scoreboard, and then trying the hijack at the end maybe. Of course, this time they're not going to be hijacking the game, they'll be hijacking the match.
Yeah, but sometimes when you've won such a tight first game, you need a little breather. Whilst for Yang and Li, there's no other way than fast forward. Got to win the second game to stay alive.
Double time, in fact. Yeah, they've got to really commit to it now. And the last thing Li and Yang are going to want is for Chen and Liu to again be hanging on to the coattails of this score. They need to get a buffer of about 3, maybe 4 points, hopefully, by the mid-game interval. That would be fantastic.
Getting those back, those shots there, Chen Bo-yang got back. That's fantastic play by the Chinese. And that's what I mean by saying the fundamentals, the basics. How many can you get back from these positions here? And that's where I feel the Chinese pair gets a little bit more back than the two with black and purple hair.
Because that had to come up at some point, it's true. I don't even know where you get that dive from. But I think you're right. I think it's about that in that situation, what you'd rather have is muscle memory coming through.
Yeah.
And if you've done that enough times, in terms of the drills, then you're not using it as a reactive motion. You're using it as a learned tactic.
Yeah.
Out. Service over. 7-6.
And on my left, 13-4.
Wait. Overdid it.
Service over. 7.
Service over. 14-13.
I have really overcooked that.
Service over. 8-7.
Service over. 14-all. Service over. 1-all.
That's 6'3" worth of power coming straight down.
Service over. 8-all.
Came back too high.
Service
Immediately
over.
killed,
9.
as you'd expect.
8.
Still 1 point ahead. Just not enough against this Chinese pair, you feel. Good lead by Li.
Service over. 9-all.
16-14.
They got off to a good start, Li and Yang. And now it's 9-all. Oi, that was behind the left shoulder.
That was a great pickup.
Super quick racket movement by Li, but point for
Oh, look at that.
opponents.
Even in the
Yeah.
replay, that looked too fast for the camera, actually. Oh, the speeds. The men's doubles game these days.
Service over. 3-2.
Sharp-eyed viewers would have seen on the scoreboard there. Ratchanok Intanon is now playing on court 3. Welcome back to her. That will be her first round match, I'm sure.
Boyan challenges. Hold in.
Challenge coming here just before the mid-game interval. That's out.
Collection out. Service over. 10-all.
So 10-all.
Play.
I wonder if it's going to be a psychological dagger if Chen and Yu can again pip it at the mid-game interval as well.
Thank you.
Well, they haven't this time.
Service over.
Being young, 11-10 up.
Interval.
17-15. Service over. 4-all.
On 1. 20 seconds. 10. Play.
So back on court for the all-important second phase of the game 2.
50, service over, 5.
Service over. 11 all.
And they pick up exactly where they left off before the break.
Oi!
Oh, a lot more pressure now coming in from Chen Bo-Yang.
Play. Great save initially by young Po-Hsuan, but what a reaction.
Look at this, Chen Bo-Yang just standing his ground at the front.
Went directly into his racket.
Yeah, he was a bit lucky there actually, because he was already leading back. It's a dangerous position for players to get into with all that space either side of you. Smart play, play it back court, but I think you said it yesterday, Steve, the imposing presence
Yep.
when you're
Yep.
there in front of them, then it cuts the options down even more. Nice again from Chen. Liu in with the big smash. And the nightmare scenario for Li and Yang has happened, and they have gone behind.
21, 50, 21, 50. Landed, your point. 8, 5.
Thirteen, 12.
Foul! Foul!
40. 12.
Well, they have to not let their heads drop. And more importantly, they have to win this point.
Can they save that one extra crucial
10.
shot? This time Liu
12.
and moral-wise, it's so devastating to lose a point like that.
Yeah. Oh, I think due to the circumstances of them losing that first game as they did,
Yeah.
and that's going to be weighing on their mind as well. 3-point deficit now. Chen and Liu already a game up. Everything falling their way.
30. 50.
Remember, it's a tough opponent either way for either of these pairs in the next round should they make it through. Kang and Seo, world champions, or Ben Lane and Sean Vendy that have been in great form recently.
Eight.
Play there.
Better play there.
40. 50.
Service over, 10, 8.
Well, they've done the hard part. Job one, which is to claw back that deficit. 15 all, but this is still not the ideal situation for them if you're looking to catch this second game.
Oh, but it's better than it was
Yeah,
three
yes.
rallies ago.
That's true. Yeah, it could easily have been 18-13, you're right.
Yeah. Slam it in.
Now things are working for them.
60. 50.
10, 4.
Gentle from Liu. And big shot from Chen Bo-Yang.
11, 10.
Some directions from coach Chen Chi-Chu.
60. All.
So I think he wants his pair in red to sort of cover out from the front court means that you cover the opposite side of where the smasher is standing. That's a good attack from Li and Yang.
Service over. 70, 60.
3:27.
Good placement there. Right at the foot of Chen Bo-yang.
Men's single.
Just picked up by Liu.
Nishimoto, Japan.
Oi!
Oh, fantastic defense from the big man.
Absolutely amazing, but this time they kept their composure. That's also part of it, being aware that this is going to happen, that you have to perhaps play 2 more shots than you're normally expecting.
It was great from Taipei pair. Now, all of a sudden, they've earned themselves the right. Just about to say it, but they've earned themselves the right to this.
Yeah, but you can't make a mistake like that. Yeah, I mean, of course you can, but you probably can't afford it.
Yeah, you definitely can't afford it. 17-18. If Chen and Liu can make this serve work.
12-11.
Took it behind him, falling back off balance.
80.
Think how hard they worked to get those 2 points ahead, Li and Yang, and now it's all square.
Yeah. That's the frustrating part about it. That's the psychologically how it's going to really play on them. This crucial point.
Enter red or black? Red is a call. It is black.
That came back a bit high.
Good play.
Oh,
Fantastic defense from young Po-Hsuan, taking the pace out of it and moving forward. Here it comes.
90,
That one.
80.
He's getting in a much better position as well.
Yeah.
Setting up his partner. Could they be forcing a third deciding game? First that we would have seen on court 1 today.
Yeah, that's well played. Good service from Jhe-Huei.
20, game point, 80.
So 2 game points. It's not over yet, Steen.
Service over. 90, 20.
It's fantastic coverage from Chen Bo-yang, the tall man.
He was crouching as well when he did it.
Oh,
But this is just a huge deja vu of what we saw in the first game. Game points for the Taipei pair. Navigated away into deuce, and this time Chen and Liu with serve. So it's 2 points or 30, but the Taipei pair will be dicing with match points should it get there. That's gone wide.
service over. 21, 20.
So it's another game point.
Yeah, and advice from Jhe-Huei to his partner as to how to proceed. Is there a special serve coming, or is it something about the coverage?
Ready to play.
That's great play.
That's wonderful play. So we are going to see a third and deciding game.
One game more.
There's absolutely nothing between these two.
15 all.
一刻你拿出就好，点完拿起来，他不会冲，他不会关键分他不会拿起来，随便掉起来，他不会拉，他们都是以平衡。你看他们在中下场还是在平衡，所以你这个要先把它绑过来，然后真的不行，我们把它挑起来，然后我们防守过低过完之后，然后拿起来之后，因为他们不会随便不会去洗，他们只有掉下来的东西。但如果你接发球，这他拨开之后，防守这个有时候硬的时候可以解。好，压住自己压一压。他拿起来就不是，就是注意，先注意有点检查。好，一抽，这些都没有问题。那你攻他们很顶多少球？对吧？都很好，信心要硬朗一点。
So Chen and Liu out on court early.
Hold 1, 20 seconds. Hold 1, 20 seconds.
Li and Yang now making their way out as well. And I think that second game and the nature by the way they won it should have possibly exercised the demons of the first game. It's exactly the way they lost it.
Final
Now,
game. Love ball. Play.
now it's game on for this game 3.
Service over 18-17. Service over 1 love.
That type of rally, I think the Chinese will win most of the times.
1 love.
Or enough of the times, like 65-35% in favor of the Chinese there. So I think it's important for Li and Yang to maintain control. I think they did that well in the first game. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, when you lose a game by 2 points, you might as well have won it. It's more or less due to luck.
It was up to the 18th point, in fact, in the first game where they looked in control. Second game, they had to fight back a little more from the 15th point.
And if we think back on the winning point in the second game, where Li Yang said something to his partner, and then you could see that he was moving. As soon as he got a chance, he was moving forward, chasing the opportunity at the front court. I think we're going to see more of that here in the third game. I think that's the plan. Now that they've finally won a game against Chen and Liu.
That's right. That's actually a landmark historical game win for them. Close again. I think, as I said, probably deserved from playing the first.
They've got to figure out how to solve the attacking game. Good defense here from Chen and Liu. Eventually provoking an error from Po-Hsuan. I think one of the things that we've seen work well was the cross smashes. It doesn't really activate Jhe-Huei as a front court player, as he might have to work backwards. But I think the variation is important.
Yeah, and it was effective as well. Yeah. A slender lead. Early part of this deciding game. Beginning to think that the purple hair has got a lot to do with the shirts.
Yes, I think so too. They're matching his shirt.
Matching. Even the tape on the legs as well, it's a color match thing.
So you're saying we're rooting for them so we can see if they play yellow dress tomorrow, he might have yellow hair dye?
Well, remember that
I said... That would be fantastic if the equipment companies come with matching hair dye to their...
I think it was actually the Malaysian team that started this. It was Chen Tangji and Jhe-Huei with the hair colors.
Missed that one. That was a pity. If you're a Chinese Taipei fan, could have gone up 6-2.
Yeah. But still will be happy with his 2-point lead.
2-5.
Wrong play by Lee Jhe-Huei. Did you see that, June?
Yeah.
He tried to inject pace and didn't have the quality, immediately punished. That one.
Yeah, caught out. Caught flat.
Oi, what a service return.
He was all over that.
6-4.
Look at that.
That was like a table tennis return.
Yeah.
Good service.
That's great defense.
Oi. String broke.
Well, you know when the shot is that bad when they look at their racket or they look at the lights. When it's literally that bad.
2.
I looked a lot at the lights when I played.
No rackets, never? You never looked at your racket
They
like
never,
that?
they never
Stare
seemed to
there,
break, so there
whoops.
was only one possibility left. That was the lights.
Had to be them.
Yeah.
Second game.
7-4. And they're doing just enough right now to maintain this 3-point lead. But again, we've seen so many different parts to this match. The first half of game 1, the second half of game 2. As a coach, before they entered game 3, is it a question of now, well, we've tried so many different things,
I don't
just
think
go
so.
for it?
I think it's a question of prayer.
Yeah. It's a question
Just
of hope. Yeah.
that you have just a little bit extra luck compared to you, but this is obviously a very, very tight match. And like we discussed in the opening game, it's played on the knife's edge.
Yeah.
So you try to get it going on your conditions, and if you're not successful, well, then you're in deep trouble. But
And
if
you-
you're successful, then there's a chance. You've got a much better chance of scoring.
And you have to be open and reactive to how it's moving, because it's so hard to get the advantage. Oh, Chen Po-Hsuan gonna regret that.
But I mean, coming in, they had only given 16 points away in a game against the Chinese, against Li and Yang. So they must feel a certain pressure now. They're about to be in trouble against a pair that they've had 2 wins against, 2 easy wins.
Caught flat foot the back.
Service over. 7-8.
Service over. 4-7.
Thank you.
4-1.
Nice steep angle from Li.
Service over.
I think this match is going to be decided by Li Jhe-Huei. Can he keep his concentration up? Or will he fall out and hesitate a little bit? I think that's going to be the deciding factor.
8-4.
He's upset with that one.
Service over.
He's just about 3 or 4 foot forward. That would have been perfect, but
8-9.
too far back for that to work. And that has opened the door once again for Chen and Liu. Closing in on the 3rd and final mid-game interval.
Sorry.
5-8.
Service over. 10.
It's a nice finish.
Thank you.
So 10-8. Be happy with that. 11-8. We're going to be going into this third and final break with a lot of hope and belief, and as we just pointed out, that might be all that's needed here. Well, they're back on court for this final phase of action, and that Steen looked like a little bit more than just hope and belief from the Chinese coach. Looked like he had a pretty clear plan as to what was going on.
Yeah. And they're going to try and take
Up
the control. Yeah. And that's why it's so important that it's called in and there's a challenge. That's why it's so important that Jhe-Huei makes these moves to the front court, because everybody wants to get the control in the rallies.
Points, get an iron grip on the rally, and then it's done.
And then whether he has one of his good days is going to be the decisive factor.
Oh, that's very in.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining.
4 points advantage now. Remember, they were down
8.
12-15 in the second,
Play.
and things looked difficult.
As I said, this match has, as you put it, it's been on a knife's edge. It's been back and forth. Players have been stretching themselves. We expected a competitive match from the start. Whether it was this tight. Going for the big attack, trying to push that intensity, trying to.
String's gone in the Liu's racket, I think. No, he's just taking a walkabout.
It's all that stress from the match. But again, as you said, their coaches come up and said, add more intensity, go and push yourself forward. There is that risk that if they do that wrong, it's just going to get, the mountain gets bigger, the chasm gets wider. Oh, deep serve.
42, 20 seconds.
Fantastic.
You were saying it, you said it. It's all about Jhe-Huei. And this is now a very good situation for them. Could this be a first win in 3 attempts for the Taipei pair?
11, 7.
Great pickup.
Excellent by Chen Bo-Yang.
Service over. 9-40.
First to move to the net, and then finishing the rally.
Service over. 8, 11.
What was that?
Service over.
What on earth was that?
59.
Must have been double hit.
Yep.
I didn't notice it. It was way too fast for me.
Well, there have been a couple of instances in this match, as we've seen, where things have gone a little bit too fast.
Oi! Fantastic dive from Liu. Unfortunately, no points attached to it from a Chinese perspective. But look at this.
Yeah, that is the flying turtle, they call it.
Point 3, 20 seconds, point 3, 20 seconds.
Well, it always amazes me when players do that. I can't do that.
Thank you.
Lead to serious injury. 16-9. What a turnaround it's been for Li and Yang. Again, something you picked up on yesterday, Steve. The momentum of point runs. Going to be feeling very good about themselves. Just wonderful passage of play. How about that? Well, everybody up here is clapping because that was incredible stuff. They went left, they went right.
Look how quick he's up, Liu.
Yeah.
It's like a rubber ball.
17.
Stretch the China defense to the max.
You gotta extend the footwork descriptions to foot and arm work in the men's doubles.
Limb work, just call it limb work, that's it. Commanding position. And again, Jhe-Huei steep enough to negate any kind of response.
Yeah, and he's got confidence and so on. That's, you definitely don't want to give him that.
Please change, Jessica. Please change. Change. Please change.
8 service over 20, 13, 10.
10. Please take. Thank you.
Service over.
Just all too much for him in that serve.
Service over.
Thankfully, this time they have a buffer.
18.
Yeah, but it's a little break like that. You want, from a Chinese perspective, to sort of break the rhythm. 8 points, that's a lot in men's double.
Also means there's another one, and now we're getting into that no mistakes territory for Chen and Liu. The odds very much stacked against them.
Service over. 11, 14.
It's going to come back with interest, and it did.
Assuming that they can finish this, Li and Yang, that's going to be a great effort from them after losing that first game, having 2 game points, then coming back.
Yeah.
Against a pair they've never really been close to before. That's a strong performance.
That was well placed shot by Li, and it gives him 9 match points with his partner Yang.
11.
I think that final look on Liu's face says it all. He may save that one, but it's very, very difficult from here.
12, 20.
And it's big, and it's enough. And that is a good win. 58 minutes.
Match won by Jhe-Huei and Po-Hsuan 20, 22.
Well, it was a great match to watch,
21,
and it ebbed and flowed left and right. But in the end, it's Li and Yang that are going to be coming through, and they've shown great resolve in doing it too. There's confirmation of it. 2022, 22-20, 21-12, and Li and Yang progress.
Welcome back to Kuala Lumpur, the capital city and largest city in Malaysia. One of the fastest growing cities as well as far as development is concerned. Well, we're here for day 2 of action at the PETRONAS Malaysia Open, the first HSBC BWF World Tour event of the year